The Australian National University, one of Australia's most prestigious academic institutions, is once again facing major upheaval. In a fresh round of cost-cutting measures, the university is proposing to cut another 59 jobs from its workforce. These proposed cuts come on top of the 41 jobs flagged for redundancy just last month. The combined impact is being felt across several faculties and departments. Academic and professional staff alike are caught in the uncertainty. The College of Science and Medicine, the College of Arts and Social Sciences, and the Research and Innovation portfolio are all affected. No corner of the university's intellectual life seems untouched by the cuts. Among those voicing their deep concern is Amelia Dale, an English lecturer in the ANU School of Literature, Languages and Linguistics. Her voice carries both sadness and anger. "I am really upset by how it's affected my colleagues," Dr. Dale said. She painted a picture of dedication and commitment, describing colleagues who work so hard every day, often under difficult circumstances. She spoke passionately of how much they care for their students, going above and beyond despite the growing pressure. But that dedication seems to count for little in the face of financial pressures. "I'm furious on behalf of my colleagues," she added. "Furious at how they have been treated. Furious at the atmosphere of competition and survival that now lingers in the corridors of ANU. It suggests we have to compete with each other," she said, condemning the divisive impact of the cuts. But amid the frustration, she also spoke of solidarity. "We're sticking together," Dr. Dale affirmed. Her own story is one of precarious employment finally transitioning to what she thought would be security. Late last year, after years on fixed-term contracts, she was offered a permanent position at the university. But that sense of stability has proven short-lived. "So, I've only for a very short time enjoyed what I thought was security," she said. Now, uncertainty looms once again. Dr. Dale openly questioned the rationale behind the university's cost-saving plans. She expressed doubts about the financial narrative being presented by the leadership. "I don't believe in the financial case for these changes," she said. Her skepticism reflects a wider concern shared by many across campus. "We don't know where these figures come from," she added, highlighting a perceived lack of transparency. The financial goal driving these cuts is ambitious. The university says it must save $250 million by 2026. But staff like Dr. Dale question whether the cuts are the right approach, or even necessary at all. For now, affected employees have been given a tight deadline. They have just 3 weeks to respond and provide feedback on the proposed job losses. It's a short window for people facing potentially life-altering changes to their careers. Vice-Chancellor Genevieve Bell has acknowledged the gravity of the proposals. She described the cuts as necessary, but also emphasized that they are not yet final. The proposal remains just that, a proposal. Staff input could still shape the final outcome. Professor Bell pointed to previous rounds of restructuring as examples of this process in action. "Last year, for instance, we had multiple change plans," she said. "And in each one of those instances, the number of staff that was impacted changed." She added that in many cases, it became a smaller number in those plans. But for those whose jobs are on the line, such reassurances may feel hollow. The prospect of losing colleagues and friends, not to mention personal job insecurity, is unsettling. The broader university community is also watching closely. Students, alumni, and other staff members have voiced concerns over what these cuts will mean for the ANU's future. They fear that academic excellence and innovation could be eroded. They worry that fewer staff will mean heavier workloads, larger class sizes, and less time for research. The cuts also risk damaging the ANU's reputation as a global leader in education and inquiry. Cuts to the arts and humanities in particular have sparked debate over the value of these disciplines. The arts faculty is often the first to feel the sting of budget cuts in higher education. But many argue that the arts are central to the university's mission. Without them, the intellectual and cultural life of the campus is diminished. In science and medicine, the stakes are equally high. Job cuts could slow down critical research in health, climate science, and technology. The Research and Innovation portfolio, key to the ANU's global partnerships, is also facing reductions. This portfolio drives much of the university's cutting-edge scientific work. Its projects have implications far beyond Canberra. In the face of these challenges, staff like Dr. Dale say they will continue to advocate for transparency and fairness. They hope to protect not just their jobs, but the values that make the ANU what it is. Collaboration, intellectual freedom, and public service are all at risk, they argue. This round of proposed cuts reflects broader pressures facing Australian universities. The sector has been hit hard by declining international student revenue since the pandemic. Universities across the country are struggling to balance their books. But staff at the ANU say that financial pressures must be weighed against the human cost. They argue that cuts of this magnitude will harm students as much as staff. At its core, the debate at ANU is about what kind of institution it wants to be. Is it a place that values its people and its mission, or a business focused on the bottom line? For now, the clock is ticking on the consultation period. Staff have 3 weeks to make their voices heard. Whether that feedback will meaningfully change the proposed cuts remains to be seen. But for staff like Dr. Dale, silence is not an option. They will speak out for their colleagues. They will fight for the future of their disciplines. And they will stand together, whatever the final decision.